A few days ago, a commentator called Jason Whitlock put out a video where he and two others were reacting to Stop Having Kids, the organisation, and their campaigns where they put banners up and they go out into the street and talk to people about the ethics of procreation, antinatalism, and related subjects. I don't know too much or anything really about these guys, but I thought that this was worth responding to, even though I don't really think they make any serious points, but it's a relatively large platform. And also, I think conservative Christians are going to be one of the biggest groups that antinatalists have friction with or have the most back and forth with. So I thought it was worth diving in on this one. So let's have a look at what they say.
Let's bring in Dave Shannon. So Dave, what do you make of this?
Oh man, Jason, I'm kind of split on this. Looking at the billboard and knowing the people who put it on, I actually agree with the billboard. I think that those people who put up the billboard need to follow their own advice and not have any more kids. And then I think they should go all the way because it's not safe enough just not to have kids. I think they need to stop having sex totally, cut off their penis, sew the whole thing up, and just tuck it away. And then in one generation, we will be done with this kind of foolishness. Man, I'm with y'all. Y'all go do this for the next 50 years and let us, real folks who have been baptized through the power of the Spirit and been saved in Christianity because of Jesus Christ, let us go ahead and fix the rest of the world. So me and my wife might have to pick up another one because they don't have to have any more kids. and just to say one more thing on that part, they have been turned over to their own lusts and desires like Romans 1 talks about, right? He has turned them over so that God is like, this is what you want? Okay, have at it. They want to try to find the Judaizers in Galatians. If they want to try to find some sort of way to be righteous outside of the work of Jesus Christ, then go ahead and cut it all the way off just to make sure that you get it all done.
These guys have clearly done no research into Stop Having Kids as an organisation and the people that run it or take part in their events. This is just something that they want to spout off about to their base, like chucking red meat to their base to make everyone, feel like they've got the correct opinion, pat themselves on the back, and then go on with their lives being ignorant. The people that engage in Stop Having Kids and antinatalists generally are not all, obviously, like not all antinatalists, not all people involved in this stuff, but generally are people that want to make the world a better place. Like that's why they set up this organization. That's why they go to these events, is because they want to make the world a better place. And most of them don't just do this. Like Stop Having Kids does litter picking, I believe. They go to sanctuaries, they give food to homeless people, they do fundraisers. Like these are people that actually want to make the world a better place.
We as Christians need to look at something like this and see this almost the same way that we see the Second Amendment and our gun rights. We need to see these folks. Think about this poster saying this, Jason. We need to make no more guns, no more ammo. Stop making ammo, stop making guns. If we saw that sign, every person who understands their Constitution would be like, I wonder why these folks don't want me to have ammo. And I wonder why they don't want me to have a gun. You know what? Just because they told me that today, you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to order me some more ammo, and I'm going to go buy me one more gun. It doesn't matter how many guns I have. Obviously, because of this billboard, I need one more.
Okay, so first of all, this comparison of kids with guns has completely different ballparks. I mean, these people like in Stop Having Kids are not trying to get you to not procreate so that they can somehow come and take advantage of you. Because I think what he's insinuating is like, oh, well, these people, they don't want us to have guns so that we have less of a capacity to defend ourselves, and so they can then sort of put their boot on our neck or whatever. This is clearly not the angle that people from Stop Having Kids are trying to come at. I mean, one, I don't see how having kids makes you less defensible. If anything, it makes you more vulnerable because now you've got this precious thing that you care deeply about, and someone can use that person against you to your advantage. A lot of people won't do things, but as soon as their kids are threatened, they crumble. So I don't see how having a kid is going to make you better at defending yourself And if you don't have a kid, therefore someone is going to come and put their boot on your neck. I don't get that analogy he's making with guns. All the people in Stop Having Kids are trying to do is question the ethics of the action you're taking. And that's it. There's no reason to throw a hissy fit about guns. They're just completely disanalogous situations. And I don't know why he's done this. I think he's probably done this because obviously guns is a very hot button issue to conservatives. And I'm not sure about Christians, but I would guess given those two probably overlap quite a lot, it probably is an important issue for Christians as well. And so he's probably just doing it to try and sort of emotionally appeal to the base, or he just doesn't really have anything really good to say, and so he just sort of chucks that in because it sounds like a point.
A child is like an arrow in the hand of a mighty warrior, right? Now, if you keep on going down that psalm, it says that he won't be made ashamed when he meets with his enemies in the gates. Mm-hmm. Our enemy knows that children are the way in which their kingdom falls. When we, as fathers and parents, raise our children up and fashion them and send them and shoot them out into the world, because we're the mighty warriors that the scriptures are talking about.
Who does this remind you of?
The way that we fight against the evil of this world is we bring children in this world and we raise them to be warriors against evil.
Shall not pass! Pew! We shoot him out. We train him up. We raise him up to be a godly man who fears the Lord. And he you know what? You're going to be a good lawyer. You know, we need some godly teachers out there, ones who don't want kids to have their penises cut off. This is where the culture is lacking. We raise our kids to fear God, and we shoot them out. When we go and meet with our enemy at the gates, we have an arsenal. And we should see these kind of things. Anytime we see fruitlessness from the world, trying to get us to be fruitless as an attack on our arsenal, the same way that we see it when it comes to guns.
I don't understand why he's talking about kids as if they're like weapons, like they're his arsenal. Like what are you fighting? The forces of darkness, the forces of evil, the devil. Okay, let's take that delusion as read, right? Okay, so let's just say that's true. Let's say the devil exists and you're fighting the devil's evil forces. Why would you put an innocent kid in that situation? You already exist and you feel like you need to fight this battle. So go ahead and do it. I don't understand why you need to take some sort of innocent being and get them to face the devil. I don't know what's wrong with you. Fight your own battles. If you feel like that's a battle to fight it yourself. Especially if you believe in hell, there's no guarantee that the person you create is going to follow the path of God. They may fall off the path, as you would say, and turn to the side of the devil. By creating someone, you hope that they would follow, God's word or whatever. But what if they don't? You've just condemned someone to hell. Is that a good thing? Was that worth it? Was that worth it to raise your little army?
What do you think of my take? This is connected to the whole climate argument. That part of the climate argument is to convince people there's too many of us. Quit having kids. We're destroying the earth. And I see these two movements working hand in hand. These two deals are climate and abortion and stop having babies. They're all working together in collaboration.
Okay, so now they're trying to lump in Stop Having Kids with, I think what they're getting at is this idea that's been circulating recently. Whether it's true or not, I'm not going to cast judgment on that, but this idea that a lot of people are speaking about the World Economic Forum and other bodies are trying to manipulate the populations and control the populations in some way. And one of the ways that they are attempting to do that is through the climate change narrative, and they're trying to, gain more control over us. I don't understand why this guy is lumping Stop Having Kids in with that. I think basically what they've been trying to do this whole video is basically highlight all of the conservative boogeymen, World Economic Forum, climate change, taking our guns away from us, the devil, and basically just taking Stop Having Kids and linking them with all of those.
Anthony, before the show, you made the comment to me about put in perspective, there's really not as many of us out here as they're trying to make you believe.
Yes, mathematically, if we took every person and stood them side by side and arranged them in a row, we could all stand in the state of Texas. All 8 billion of us could stand in Texas.
He's talking about how actually there aren't that many of us. We can all fit in Texas if we stand shoulder to shoulder. Like, this may be true, but it's missing the point. And I think this is actually one thing that us as antinatalists need to be clear about, is that it's not about overpopulation. We're not saying, oh, there's some number somewhere of sentient beings that, you know, once we exceed that number, or then it's wrong. No, we're trying to question the act itself, and that would apply to every individual instance of it. Whether people standing shoulder to shoulder fit in Texas or they fit in one room, the question would still be the same. Cool. So I didn't see much else to really respond to in that video. There are a few bits I didn't include because it was just them sort of rambling about God and their conception of God. So I didn't really think that was worth responding to. Someone who speaks on religion can take on those things if they want to. I didn't really think it was necessary here. The basic thing that I say to religious people about antinatalism is just, okay, it's cool for you to have your religion, but obviously you shouldn't be imposing it on others. And I think any religious person would recognize this when they're the ones being imposed on. So I say to someone, okay, these guys are Christian. I've now made a new religion that I subscribe to, and I think it's okay to discriminate against Christians. And my God tells me that that is absolutely fine. Clearly, they're not going to say, oh, well, it's fine for you to discriminate against me then, because that's your religion. You're allowed to impose it on others. No, they would say, fuck you. You shouldn't be able to impose that on me. Yes, that would be true. But then they have to accept that they are not able to impose their religion on others. And what do they do when they have a religious conception of life in their head and then create someone? Impose their religion on someone else and their views on someone else. So these people can have their fantasies if they want and whatever, but just don't impose them on someone else. So let me know what you thought of that video and the things they said in it, and I'll see you in the next one.